Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I know that recent days have looked a bit scary in crypto markets, but that's why I think it's very important for everyone to arm themselves with information, which will, I think, make it less likely for many people to make stupid emotional decisions with their hard-earned money that have been thrown into investments. So do whatever you want to do. I'm just saying, whatever your decision is, don't use emotion to make those decisions. Use logic and data and reason. But I will tell you this, despite scary looking circumstances, I've reiterated in recent days quite a bit that September's just bad, right? Hopefully you've been sufficiently beaten over the head with that idea to this point. Crypto markets historically horrible in September, same for the stock market. Those markets move in tandem, but Q4 historically looks fantastic. But what's fascinating is that despite this being the case, XRP is still continuing to outperform even now. So I'm going to share with you some interesting stuff towards the front part of this video and some additional thoughts broadly speaking of crypto. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 6:02 p.m. Central Time, my time zone, here in the good old Midwest of the United States, Saturday, September 7th, 2024. XRP down to 52 cents, Bitcoin at $54,000 roughly. Crypto Fear and Greed Index, 23 out of 100. So, man, y'all a bunch of scared bitches out there. Maybe not you listening, but there's a lot of lemming retail speculators out there who feel things, even though it doesn't make a whole lot of logical sense to feel these things given historic perspective, which is what I keep highlighting in this video. Or if you want to look at charts, even charts, frankly, a lot. Well, I'll tell you this, the chart analysts that I follow, some are feeling a bit more neutral than they were expressing in recent weeks, fine, but none have flipped bearish, and most of them are still extremely bullish. So make with, take of that what you will, but I think that it's cause for optimism, because if you use reputable analysts, each individual analyst as a data point, and then you look at the trend, it's still in the positive. And I actually find that there's utility in that. I've been doing that for years and years, and that's why I track so many damn analysts. Even though I'm not one myself and I don't want to be, because it sounds boring as hell to me, I appreciate the work that they do. But let's talk about XRP here. Here's a post shared by Crypto Insight UK, and this is fascinating, because in recent months, XRP has been jumping up, let's say. So he shared this, XRP dominance really fighting a key level here. A break above this has previously led to an explosive move. And so that's one more metric that you can look at. And there are all sorts of analysts in separate charts that have drawn symmetrical triangles indicating that for years and years, XRP volatility, the range with which it's trading in, has been narrowing over a span of years and years and years, ultimately will reach an apex at which you should expect a break. And so this is all happening at exactly the same time here. It's just historic perspective. You guys can tell me what you think is most probable, but look at this. This is an XRP, again, XRP dominance chart, percentage chart. Look at how it's just been trending up. So that means that even though recently XRP price has been going down against the dollar, the whole market has, but the whole market has been taking it in the shorts to a much greater degree than XRP. XRP is outperforming despite the fact that it's going down against the dollar. It's still winning, even in these terrible circumstances. So this is just, you can see it's going back over the last few months here. Here's another chart showing, it's the same data, but showing over a longer time period. So this chart goes back to 2014. You can see where he drew the line here to just note, that's a pretty steep pitch there, isn't it? You'll love to see it. We are in a bull market, I insist, despite the fact that we're having a scare September, which you should be expecting. Because data says that you should expect September to be crap, and it is. So there you go. But data also says that we should expect typically Q4 to be pretty damn fantastic. Here's another post from Crypto Insight UK. XRP versus ETH, highest daily close since August 8th. Look at that lovely trend. Again, XRP has been performing almost well, if you look at the top 100 coins specifically, XRP has been outperforming almost all of them. And so to see XRP even beaten up on, the second largest coin by market cap for this period of time, while the market's not been so hot, I'm happy to see that. XRP showing greater strength than these other top coins. Yeah, I'll take that. Because XRP has been beaten down for the better part of a decade. You understand that, right? It's been consolidating for almost 7 years. It can't and won't stay in the range that it's in forever. If we are going to see a continuation to the upside, it's hard to believe that XRP is not going to be a part of that. Here's a post from chart analyst Crypto Michael, and he simply wrote, XRP should pump hard when it breaks 55 cents. So as long as Bitcoin doesn't screw that up, we'll see how low Bitcoin goes here, because Bitcoin does lead the market. But I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up proven correct. There's this post from chart analyst Greg Crypto, and he said, XRP, 540 days ranging since March 13th, 2024. If you're getting shaken by these tiny moves, you don't deserve the massive mega pumps that are coming. And I'm sorry to say he is correct. If you can't handle the volatility, you're going to have a hard time. Can't take the heat, get out the kitchen, son. That's what he's saying there, right? It is true. So many people have trouble with this. In fact, here, this was gonna be the very next thing I show you, but just to carry on with that sentiment, there's this post from Bob Lucas, who is one of the most well-known and respected analysts in the crypto space, 287,000 followers on X for a reason. And he said, bear market sentiment in Bitcoin. Members reaching out in fear, asking if they should sell. Ooh. Yet price above what it was in February. January was 27% lower. No idea if this 6-month drawdown has ended or where it ends. But grow a pair if you're going to hold an asset with such tremendous volatility. Know the time frame you live on and see it from that perspective only. That one gets a golf clap. It's the same sentiment, kind of from Greg Crypto. It's spot on. It just is. You're playing in a sandbox that is the most volatile sandbox in all of investing. You should expect this indeed to be the case. But then you got to ask, what do you think matters most? What do you think is going to ensure that if the crypto pie gets bigger, certain coins will stick around? I insist it's utility. I understand that when markets get euphoric, a bunch of idiot retail investors come in, throwing money at whatever green candle develops. I get that. And then utility doesn't matter so much. But utility does matter for people who are a bit more reasonable, people like you and I, who are perhaps a bit more informed than the idiot lemming retail speculators. So we form the base, and we're the ones that ensure that XRP, for example, stays in the top 10, because we're like, no, this makes sense, and we actually do know what we're talking about. And then the idiot retail speculators come along and start throwing money at it when the green candles come in the moments of euphoria. That's it. That's pretty much how this works. So what happens in the interim, especially if idiot retail speculators are selling, so what? Does that mean XRP has less utility? No. So if you happen to believe, and I do, that utility matters and will win the day, then it doesn't matter. We just don't get to choose the timeline. I understand that can be frustrating because it can go on for years and years and years, and frankly, it has. I get that. But we have to be adults and recognize we don't get to choose that. And that's also why it's good to have broad exposure to the asset class, because different things will pop at different times in different market cycles, actually. That's just how it is. There's also this post from chart analyst Dark Defender, and he said, hey there, XRP produced the 7th green on the wave trend indicator in the monthly chart since 2013. He said 3 out of 7 of them were false. However, 3 of them were tremendous. We have the 7th green now, which is great. So he's just saying we're at this moment of... It is one of those inflection points. It's either we're going to go up or we're going to go down. What do you think it means? And so that's why, like I was citing a few minutes ago, actually, and this is true, every XRP chart analyst on the sun, it seems, has drawn a symmetrical triangle, the same or similar to what's on your screen right now. Sometimes they'll just draw it back to the last market cycle, so it'll go back a few years, and then other ones will go back to the previous all-time high. Well, I guess it's the current all-time high, beginning in 2018. But either way, it just kind of brings home the point. It's what I was saying a few minutes ago. This thing has been consolidating for so long, and the dorky phrase is, the wider the base, the higher in space. The longer the consolidation, the greater force with which it will blow when it finally does. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what that looks like, but I'm just saying, if we're in a bull market, and I still believe that we are, the break in all likelihood would be to the upside, right? It's just a guess. I admit I don't know. Nobody knows, but we're all just guessing. But it's based on data, historic data. That's why it's useful, because the history does kind of rhyme with itself, right? And then there's this post from the great Matsby, And I wanted to highlight this because I have been also frequently stating, and it's just a matter of fact so far as I'm concerned, that what causes cycles, market cycles, is global liquidity. And he's highlighting this perfectly here. It's not the Bitcoin halving. I understand that other things happen in 4-year cycles, and maybe Satoshi was being cute with things and being real smart, and he lined up things so that the Bitcoin halving would roughly coincide with this. Maybe he understood this. I don't know. That's all speculation. Maybe that's the case. But the Bitcoin halving, yeah, it is every 4 years. But there are other things that are 4 years that aren't the reason that we're seeing this, like the United States presidential election. It would be just as stupid to say it's because of the presidential election. That's why Bitcoin goes when it goes. Like, that's silly. Well, it's just as silly to say, in my estimation, to say that it's because of the halving. The truth is, it's global liquidity. And this highlights that idea perfectly. And so here he wrote, the S&P 500 is literally just a copy and paste of the M2 Global Liquidity Index. Even the Dow Jones and NASDAQ 100 look exactly the same. The trend is your friend. And so, folks, I'm trying to help you to make peace. It's not like things are so topsy-turvy that at any minute XRP or anything you hold could just go to zero. Like that's what it feels like if you're new to investing. I get that. It'll feel like that at any moment because if you jump in and you have no knowledge of anything, it could feel like that. But that's why I'm trying to help you to get the big picture on the macro stuff. Regular people like you and I can absolutely handle this stuff. There's nothing special about me. I'm just a dude on the internet here running YouTube. I'm not special because I have a YouTube channel. But what I'm saying is this is empowering because regular people, with nothing special about me, I'm not a finance guy. Regular people like us absolutely can dominate and achieve life-changing wealth by just holding. Like, we really can. But you need to know this stuff. It's not the case that at any given moment, everything's about to go off a cliff and stay down there and dead forever. We get bear markets, sure, but liquidity cycles are just that. They're cyclical. They're cycles. So things come back even after they fall into a damn pit. So, and that's why I am most comfortable and most interested in investing in those cryptocurrencies which exhibit utility. Because even though, yes, utility coins, including XRP and HBAR and Flare, you name them, even though they'll go down when the market goes down, which moves in line with liquidity here on a global scale, even though they will do that, I have a much higher confidence level that they'll burst back at some point in the future because they're useful. And humans don't discard technology that's functionally useful. So then when more money does come back because there's greater liquidity, where do you think it goes? Duh. I mean, to me, it seems very obvious. That's why I've stuck with my investment thesis, which is that utility matters and will win the day. I've held that since 2017 when I jumped into crypto. And I'm firm on that. There's no reason to change that. Of course. It's the same thing as saying with the stock market version that you could say, it would be something along the lines of those companies that have good performance will win the day. It would be something like that. It's the same idea. Doesn't that make logical sense? I argue yes. So the best is certainly yet ahead. I mean, as long as XRP continues to be adopted, continues to be useful, eventually after consolidation at some point in time, some unknown point in the future, hopefully sooner than later, and it could be, it's going to break. It cannot and will not range here forever. I believe new all-time highs coming, price discovery, the whole 9 yards, face melt, everything. And it's liquidity that is driving this, global liquidity. That's why you can look at the M2 Global Liquidity Index here on the bottom versus the top here. S&P 500. And in this case, it's an ETF trust, but it's the same. It's tracking it. So do you see the correlation? It is liquidity that's driving this. It couldn't be more obvious. So all these false narratives about Bitcoin having this and that, I just don't buy it. So knowing all of this is why I'm saying that things might seem scary in the short term, but it's not really, not if you're armed with knowledge. And XRP keeps fighting even in the quote-unquote scary zone that we're in here in September. But again, history tells us we should be optimistic that Q4 is going to be way better. The odds are in that favor. Even if you throw out the charts, you just look at historically what happens in the fourth quarter, dating back to like 19-2, I'm telling you, like in times of antiquity, if you go back that far, I'm telling you that if you just play the odds, Q4 is fantastic historically. So it doesn't mean it's a certainty, but if you're playing the odds, I'd bet in that favor for absolutely. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because if anything I say are right, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.